Now we see art imitating life, imitating politics, imitating the movies, imitating the military-industrial complex. And there are more terror drills and more drills. Pentagon and police stage terror attack exercise in Long Beach. Terror in Redwood City. Emergency drill prepares for terrorist attack. That's from smdailyjournal.com. Vacaville, California police train with the DHS, that's the Department of Homeland Stupidity, in a little crowd management exercise. Again, what are they preparing for? New York Air National Guard unit participates in air defense exercise. Police officers use Illinois college campus for an active shooter scenario. That's from McDonoughVoice.com. New Jersey gunman drill aims to neutralize threats. That's from Shore News Today. And Natick Labs in Massachusetts practices real-time response to fake terror attack. That's from MetroWestDailyNews.com. Drills acclimate both parties. They acclimate the private, military, pharmaceutical, enforcement, contractor armies to laying out this kind of enforcement in the United States. And it gets the cattle used to seeing the military performing law enforcement duties. Now that Posse Comitatus is out the window and terrorists are everywhere, as we just heard in the clip, terrorism is now the main game, the main scare. And as the econo crash continues, we're going to see things turn more into the snitch state, the nanny state, as there are less and less jobs. They'll give you a job being a snitch for the state. Whether that's someone not recycling correctly or just looking suspicious or perhaps driving while black. Anything. All crime is terror. Section 802 of the Patriot Act. All these things still continuing under Obama, continuing the State of Emergency Act. It rolls on and on. This didn't start with Obama. This didn't start with Bush. This didn't start with Clinton, and on and on and on. We get the front men out to sell the sheeple and the cattle, to use derogatory terms I don't like to use. I want to be more positive, and that's what this is all about. Empowering you with open source intelligence and information. We're going to see corrupt people more and more worming their way into positions of little fake, low-level, wise guy, boss hog style power. And I reference Soylent Green a lot. It's not the greatest film in the world, but there's a lot of important elements in there. Charlton Heston is a corrupt agent for the man, investigating things with a tough-ass attitude and taking the little bits of things that people have squirreled away in their apartments, and they can't do anything about it because he's got the blue helmet on. So this brings us to police state updates. Tattle on the cattle. A line I stole from The Simpsons. And it starts off all disgustingly enough from NBCNewYork.com. TSA agent steals cash from wheelchair-bound woman. But good news, coming from CBS, noting that the TSA's behavior detection system, actually I think they ask it as a question, but I just lay it out as a statement. The TSA's behavior detection program is a $200 million sham. As we see, again, the rampant corruption, and it is trickle down, if we can use that analogy. The trickle down corruption is what we have. citizen journalist Sam Dodson, and Detroit TSA Security Theater.
So what's next? Couldn't you guys catch some real criminals? Maybe? No? I know they're hard to catch. It's much easier to just harass journalists, condition the public, eventually put the body scanners in so you guys can save off images of naked children, share those around the department. Don't you think there's anything wrong with that? You know, one of the police officers told me once you go through security that he owns everybody in here. Do you think it's right to own another human being? Because that's what the police told me. They owned me. Nothing to say, huh? How long you been with the TSA? Have a nice day. I'm Sam Dodson. You're watching OTN.
Local 4 defender Kevin Dietz is live tonight with the videotape that shows it all.
That's right. Anyone with a camera and a computer can call themselves a journalist, and they tell their story on the internet. Well, these vigilante journalists made their way to Metro Airport, and it was just days after that extremely scary event at Metro Airport.
These guys are ridiculous. They couldn't find the business end of a pencil, much less a terrorist.
They call themselves vigilante journalists. With their cell phone and hidden video cameras, they travel the country attempting to expose government agencies. And just weeks after the attempted bombing of Flight 253 above Metro Detroit, they were pushing the limits of the law and testing already frazzled federal agents while filming at Metro Airport. His name is Sam Dodson, and while security was still on high alert after arresting Umar Farouk Abdul-Muttalib, he was taunting the TSA on tape. He pushed it right up to the legal limit.
The bottom line is we're going to get ID from you now or a lockup. Which do you want?
They were not arrested at Metro Airport, but it certainly caused for some tense moments at Metro Airport at a very scary time.
Yeah. We don't call ourselves vigilante journalists. That's the name they want to call us. Anybody with a camera and an internet connection can call themselves a journalist. So, still propping up the TSA and all their war of terror, official 9/11 conspiracy theory, and let's not forget the shoe bombers and the underwear bombers and all these other trumped-up patsy cases that have the intelligence fingerprints of MI5 and MI6 and the ISI and the CIA. They're also propping up themselves to say, we're the real media. We're your corporate TV news. Trust us. Trust a model reading a press release from the government. Quickly on down the ugly list from Federal Computer Week, FBI official John Pistoli picked to head the TSA now. This would be the third attempt to get ahead of the post-9/11 corrupt TSA. Spy agencies faulted it for missing the Christmas Day bomber, Muttalib. That's from the Washington Post. And again, did this lead to Dennis Blair falling on a sword? More on that in just a few minutes. Pakistan arrests Army officer linked to Faisal Shahzad. And, of course, Veterans Today, Gordon Duff getting into the Shahzad CIA false flag against Pakistan. Napolitano urged to cut DHS ties with Arizona. New terror monitors? Parking attendants, my friend. We can get stories from MSNBC as well as KTNV. Arizona recruits meter maids in the phony war of terror.
In light of the recent attempt to set off a bomb in New York's Times Square, extra eyes are keeping watch over possible terrorist targets. A national program is training parking attendants to watch for suspicious people, and it's even happening right here in Las Vegas. Marco Villarreal shows us how our city is on the cutting edge.